Ich war sehr überrascht, dass das die USA sind. Das hat den einfachen Grund, dass die Zahlungen der Credit Suisse an die Schiffbauerfirma, ich muss hinzufügen, die ganzen Zahlungen sind also nicht nach Mosambik, sondern an die Schiffbauerfirma gegangen. Die hat dann ein knappes Prozent an diese drei mosambikanischen Firmen weitergeleitet und sich dann beschwert, dass die nicht vernünftig gearbeitet haben.
A coalition called Civil Society Budget Forum, FMO, and Denise is our coordinator. And I'm part of, member, my organization is a member of that coalition. We are 21 civil society organizations, and we work on public finance management. And the issue of these illegal, first hidden, now illegal, now fraud debt was an issue for us since it was discovered in around 2018.
Why is this so important to us, and why do we think it will be important to everyone that cares about development? This is the biggest financial scheme fraud in Africa. It's also the biggest financial fraud involving two presidents. It is the biggest illicit financial flow from the south to the north, and is also one of the biggest cases in terms of frauds committed by private banks. And we started reaching out. Aurora wrote an email saying, Aurora, we need help. Thomas said, we need help. We really did that, going to all the countries, mapping first the countries that were involved, and then through the contact details in the website, we started reaching out to everyone and saying, we need help. We don't have access to these institutions, to these places. This is our initial ideas. At that time, we were thinking about buying shares from Credit Suisse to be able to attend the and then Thomas came out and said, just hold a bit. Might be that Ataris might help you. So eventually, we didn't have to buy the shares. And providing inputs on development of a new tool which countries are supposed to use before contracting new debt to assess to what extent that will impact, will just make it worse the lives of the Mozambique, of the people, what kind of social impact we will have, what kind of human rights we will have. So it's a tool that requires the involvement of researchers, economists, people from public finance, different civil society organizations, so that before the debt is contracted, it's really analyzed where it will lead to development. That is not happening, and that's one of our conversations with IMF, is the fact that their debt sustainability analysis, which they do every 3 months in every country, it looks only at macroeconomic indicators. It doesn't look to what extent a certain infrastructure or credit for infrastructure will benefit the country. And that's what happened during the government ruling of Yabusa, is that two huge, very big investments. In Mozambique, when we speak about 700 million, it's a lot. It's not in Switzerland, but in Mozambique it's a lot. So we have, for example, this bridge that was constructed against between Inner Channel. It leads nowhere because there's nothing happening on the other side. It costed 700 million, 3 times more it will cost in China.
2016, the same year, when Mosambik has declared the Zahlungsunfähigkeit. In February, a couple of months before, in February, the FMI made a prognosis that from 21 on, Mozambique will have economic growth of 21 or 24%. This was a prognosis of FMI in February 16, of course, in relation of the gas. Now, coast protection. Iskandar Safar probably thought, yeah, if there is gas, then we will offer boats to protect the gas. And after the Mozambican case, because it worked well for Safar, he went to Nigeria, which has petrol, and made the same offer. Also a project for 2 billion, which would have been paid to Privinvest and not to Nigeria, the same thing.
What we are trying to say is that they are responsible in all the places, and we are trying to reach out and trying to discuss how to help all these people responsible for what they are doing. Thomas quoted the Nigerian case, and that this former minister of Nigeria, she wrote a book where she described all that happened in Nigeria. It's the same story, the same song in Mozambique, and she closed the chapter saying, if I had not refused the deal, Nigeria would be Mozambique today. So the difference is that we have Greek leaders. It should and it would have not happened if we don't have the Greek leaders we have. And it's a pity that we put them in place. So that is something that's why I started by saying in Mozambique, we as much as we can are trying to help to hold these people accountable. And it's been very difficult. And the government, what they did, the initial prosecutor, they arrested, you have the 2 presidents involved, and then they arrested from the minister down, the head of security services, his number 2, and all the people down. So we have 20 people being indicted. But yet it doesn't resolve the critical corruption issue in Mozambique, which lays with the leaders.